Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's quite cold and dreary, so yeah, thank you for staying in and tuning into our Facebook Live. So today we're gonna be chatting about our wonderful acceleration program, and I will be joined by two alumni. So welcome Vaida and welcome Eleonora.
Hi, hello everyone.
Thank you so much for joining us, for joining me for this conversation. We're gonna start by just, going briefly through today's agenda, what we're gonna be talking about. And I'll shortly remind everyone what the acceleration program is all about. And then we'll move on to some questions that I would like to ask Eleonora and Vaida about their experience in the program, their tips and tricks and insights they have gained when they were in the program. We will also have a short Q&A session at the end. So if you have a question that you would like to ask Biden and Eleonora, just leave it in the comments and we'll get to those at the end. So to start with, we are currently accepting applications for our acceleration program, and I'm sure most of you have heard of it. If you haven't, it's a mentorship program by Women Go Tech, and it's for women who would like to move into tech sector. So this year it is slightly different. We have restructured the program slightly. So at the moment, we are accepting applications for our tech management and data analytics group. And then also a little bit later, we are accepting applications now, but a little bit later in the year, we will start our software development and quality assurance track. So if you're interested in these areas, please do apply today. And you'll get hopefully you'll get accepted, and you'll start your 6-month mentorship program with a mentor and a wonderful community of other women who are also looking forward and working towards their goals of moving into tech sector. If you're an IT professional, with experience and someone who would like to share their knowledge with other, with aspiring tech women who would like to move into tech, then please do apply as a mentor. We're looking for mentors as well. We will share all the information in the comments with all the links. And also, if you would like to learn more, you can always visit our website, womengotech.com, where you can read all about the acceleration program, requirements, and all of that. And also, like I said, if you do have a question, just leave it in the comments and we'll answer it. So this is just a very brief overview of the acceleration program, but the best way to learn about anything is obviously to hear from those who have been in the program and have a firsthand experience. So my first question is a very important question and very straightforward question, but how did you decide to join the acceleration program? What made you join it? And maybe Vaida, we can start with you.
Yeah, I'll start as a mentee. It wasn't that long time ago. So because I had a really happy moment being both mentee and mentor. But starting, of course, from mentee, at the time when I started thinking of it, I was somewhere. I wouldn't say I was nowhere, but I was somewhere in the middle of something that I wasn't sure about in my career. I was really lacking some kind of purpose. I just left HR a couple of months ago, and I was already in some kind of project coordination management field, but was already thinking, okay, where could be my purpose now? And I felt like this was the very best time to do something new. And I did some kind of a revision or review of where I felt strong in terms of my skills. So I felt like, okay, I have great organizational planning skills. I feel like people are saying that about me. I felt myself powerful in it, people skills, and trainings. So then I just sat down and thought, okay, where I could be in terms of if I went to IT. So I think I needed to be somewhere lost a bit, and maybe someone hearing can relate to this, so that I could find that's like where to start from. So that's briefly my beginning of my mentee journey.
Yeah, and Maida, you did come back to the program as a mentor last year. And how did you decide? How did you feel like it was the right thing to do at that point in your career?
It was, first of all, a kind of a surprise, very nice one. I wasn't really expecting at the moment where I already started. I landed my job quite fast, still being in the program. I started looking for a job, and we'll talk probably about it, but I niched it down to a Scrum Master, and we worked towards it. So I was an IT project management track, but it's not necessarily IT project management. It's sometimes said as it's a close role to it. So when I started working, and I think it was not a long time past that when I got an invitation, and it was surprising to hear it so early. And for me, it's really a good question. I was doubting myself, can you really be a mentor when you just really yourself are a fresher and a junior in the field? But then I think this is where I thought that I could really try and maybe bust the snippet that you have to be like super extra expert and senior in the field to even start, and maybe just share my very fresh, very new experience with anyone just thinking about this field overall. So my motivation was to challenge myself a bit and still being new in the field, feeling quite confident, but still learning so much, to try to talk to someone who maybe is right now at the same moment of confusion as I was some time ago.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because obviously when you're a mentor, you're also learning. It's not just a mentee, but for mentors, this can be also an experience to learn about yourself and kind of remind skills you have. Yeah. Eleonora, could you share how you decided to join?
Yeah, but fact that my journey with Women Go Tech was kind of like a light bulb moment, because I was getting tired with my research, because I am pursued my PhD at Leiden University in the Netherlands, but in fact I'm sitting in my home in Vilnius. And it was like my research is about academia itself, and I always dreamed about being a scientist or researcher who fixed the world. Yes, it was my dream job. But my research is about academia. And I was just in the middle of my PhD journey, and I conducted interviews with professors and doctors working in academia, and my research about academia itself. And I've heard so many sad stories about working in academia, being professor or professor assistant. And I always thought, oh no, it's not my way to be in academia. And just I thought that I would not want to work at any university after hearing all these sad stories. But one night I just was surfing the internet looking for something for my research. And when I saw this ad for Women Go Tech, it was like a sign from the universe telling me that I needed some change and I need to try IT world. Just maybe IT world would become my future horizon. I thought, because I already learned how to code, how to analyze data because of my research. So I think, in fact, it was my first time I realized that such a program is an inviting people to apply. So I didn't know what to expect when I applied, but I figured, why not? So I often participate in such journeys. I filled out the questionnaire and waited for response. And the selection process for me, it was like a pretty fun because it was easygoing. And I even hadn't realized at that moment that there's so big competition in our season. And I say, but I got really, I didn't feel like I was being judged or anything like these interviews or selection. I just felt like an exciting adventure, and I was the lucky one who received, okay, you accepted from after first stage, then I accepted second letter, acceptance letter. So that was for me absolutely amazing thing. And finally, I've got an email with my mentor. Yes, that was really great. So I feel that if you hadn't tried, you cannot realize if you could do something or not. So even got accepted. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like what you said, you know, just kind of looking at this as an adventure, because yet you don't know how it's gonna go, but if you have the passion and really want to change, you'll be fine. So you should definitely, so everyone, anyone listening who's not sure, just listen to Eleonora. It's an adventure. My next question is about your experience, and if there was something particular maybe you would like to share that you learned in the program. Obviously, you learn about your track and the tech role that you're interested in, so more technical things. But was there something something different that you learned about yourself, or you know, what you took from the experience? Eleonora, would you like to answer first?
Yes, I wanted to say why that first, but yes, I like that. And I, in fact, I had the privilege of being matched with an incredible mentor, Carolina, and she was very responsive and eager to help me succeed. She, from our first meeting, she took the time to outline the skills and knowledge I needed to develop. And to thrive the data analytic field, I joined and was accepted this track. And she even helped me to create a personalized plan to delve deeper into the world of data analytics in her world, IT world, because it's slightly different when you explore data for research project and some explore data at their company. So that's really, I know that it's different now, but not only was Carolina an invaluable source of this guidance and support, but also I met many people around, and this community. I was amazed how open-minded they are, and how supportive, and how many these women participating. They are so easy go to contact and share their experiences. And we talked not about my experience, but about other experience as well. So that was really amazing thing, just to meet this community and exchange these experiences. So that's really, in fact, being a mentee, it's like someone is responsible and help you just gain real world perspectives from industry where you have no chance to learn in other way, that only from this program. If you are outside IT world, you have no chances to learn about this inside world and their practices, or how they behave, or how they learn their things. So that's really, this is why I like this being a mentee, because yes, the support and community. Yeah. And also one more thing, that because yes, you got also always possibility in our season, we were able to visit companies. So, and you could go to any, there are so many, I missed some, and it was for me, but those I visited, it was invaluable experience, because you see how they live, how they work, everyday life there. Yes, that was really very valuable experience. But I don't know if you have this option to physically visit these headquarters of companies?
Yeah, so this year, I'm so glad to hear you found it useful and helpful. This year, we will have a careers day. And yes, so there will be a chance to hear from tech companies about employment opportunities and to meet them. So yes, we know this is such a big part of the program, to having that access to tech companies. So we're definitely keeping it this year, and it's something we want to give to the mentees. Vaida, I'm curious to hear what was something you learned when you were in the program?
Because with Leonora, we're from the same year of the program, just in case we haven't mentioned that, maybe we haven't. Just hearing all the energy coming from Leonora is just reminding me of so many other moments I enjoyed, or some other lessons I learned. But when you ask this question, there's things that pop up, of course, besides some technical knowledge that you get about the role, about the market, what's most valued right now. In terms of your skills and capabilities, soft skills, hard skills in that role. But I think one particular meeting, again, with my mentor, I also remembered my mentor, Vytautas. We met a couple of times, and first one was just live. We were walking around the city, and you know, when you start something that you're really looking forward to, you think, okay, so now we'll have a plan, everything will be just, you know, fun. And yeah, sometimes maybe I thought it maybe will be kind of easygoing because it's such you know, powerful, full of events program. But we had such an in-depth conversation with Vytautas. The first time I met him, I kind of got scared whether I'm in the right place, because he asked, and I now know that he asked very proper questions that whilst I'm mentoring right now, overall in the field of IT, etc., I think that these were really at the point, although may scare you a bit. So he really wanted to deep dive into the actual like question, why I got in here, why I really want to go into the industry itself, why I'm thinking of these particular roles, because I had a problem picking exact role. Of course, I was in project management track, so this was one of the options, but it's a versatile skills you may use for other roles that I was considering, such as Scrum Master. So he was really trying to figure out my motivation.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted me to be very sincere, and I think I wasn't expecting these in-depth questions at the very start. And at first I thought, okay, so am I really here for a purpose? Because I was looking for that purpose. I just mentioned you a while ago that I really wanted that in my life, more of it. So although we had all the fun chit chats, and he was extremely supportive and really helped me in the way of finding a job and just enjoying the process, I think what was one of the milestones, it was the first talk that left me with more questions than answers. And I think this is very powerful. He was doing coaching, not only mentoring. He was using a lot of open-ended questions that I wouldn't be able to answer. And also when you meet a person that is kind of, you know, you see him as a star when you're just starting out, although the person is very simple and approachable, but you feel a lot of different feelings. And at first you're kind of starstruck. It happens sometimes. And it's really helpful when that person is really approachable and helpful with that. So I think the questions that I had after that meeting extremely, very, very much helped with understanding where I want to go further and why exactly. And he would ask and ask again and again in our meetings, why am I doing this and why I'm going there? So that's what I'm super grateful about.
Yeah, absolutely. It yeah, having that guidance makes all the difference. So moving on, from what you just said, it sounds like it was you did have a good experience, but I was wondering whether any particular moments during your time that you remember and that you are fond of, and yeah, just something that was a highlight of the whole experience for you. Vaida, do you want to continue?
Yeah, I could start continue actually. Yes. So one of the favorite moments were, of course, meeting live the people that you kind of see online, sometimes the community. So seeing them live in the live events and on-site events, not only online, because it really would energize me, motivate me. It's important for me to have a community of people that have been through similar challenges, that share very openly, as Leonora already said. And meeting everyone, not necessarily only mentees, only other people's mentors. Maybe they help you on your way as well. And just being there with the people that actually I have still quite a few acquaintances from that year, and I'm happy that Eleonora is one of them. That is, I'm always happy to catch up and just see how our life is going. So I think this is it that I kind of really miss, and from that year, to meet people live, to catch up with them, to see also other alumni sharing their experiences, having interesting guests, and yeah, that was what really showed me how networking works and how much it can help further.
Yeah. Great, thank you. Eleonora.
Yeah, for me, my favorite moment was landing a job at Danske Bank. It was an incredible thing. Just I got first hands-on experience in the bank IT sector. Just I think that it would not be possible without this program. And sometimes you need to participate in the program and learn about from inside to say for myself that, okay, Leonora, IT world is not for you as well. So for me, it was favorite moment that I decided, okay, it's not so, it's great to see all those people and experience this by myself, just having job and working that. And when you have this for 3 months, you realize you fit in that, or you want to work that for all your life and stay here. It would be not possible for me be confident that I need to return to academia just to fixing the world and just fulfill my dream. That was an invaluable experience for me, because now it was like I got this experience and I try everything and decided, okay, that's amazing. Get this chance to see and experience by myself, and decide that, okay, I will continue my research and doing my PhD. That was amazing thing and favorite moment for me. Yes, and I know that not every mentee got their job, secure job at IT company, but many from our season got internships or somehow made contact and made first steps in IT work. Yeah, that's very nice to hear that people realized what they wanted and started their new period in their lives. Yes, new professional journey. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we want to, obviously everyone to have that, and to make sure as many women can make that move, and obviously with the right guidance and with acceleration program, that can be achieved. Speaking of, again, your experience and what you've learned, there are people who are watching now and they might be thinking, oh, I would like to apply, or maybe they have already applied but are a bit nervous. What would be your advice to those new mentees and mentors? Because for some, it might be first time they're mentoring as well. I don't know, Vaida, maybe because you have experience of both, what would be your advice?
For mentees, first of all, I think, as Eleonora mentioned a few times already, it's one of the best places to start from, and even to see whether it's for you or not. You don't have to know exactly what you want right now, even the role. You may choose one path and it may give you quite a lot, that track that you choose, but you may decide to maybe move, just like myself, maybe not exactly to project management, but somewhat close, because the skills are versatile, and you will learn definitely a lot. I think it's encouragement if you're doubtful whether you know exactly what you want, because sometimes I think it's expected. At least I thought that, okay, there's a track, I have to, that in those 12 months find the job, and it's all very clear. But maybe in the long run, or during this process of mentorship, you'll have these ups and downs, and you may start rethinking your decision, and it's all fine. Like, it's going to happen probably, and it shows that you're progressing and that you're moving somewhere. So not to be afraid of this uncertainty, of that it's not exactly perfectly clear for you where you see yourself in those 6 or 12 months or more. As and not a perfectly illustrated, it can be an overall great lesson learned. You cannot lose anything. It's the time well spent, definitely. And for mentors, what I also felt related to, because mentorship, I have myself mentors, and I've been mentoring throughout this past year, I would say, and a bit more maybe, in a few different sections. And I feel like when you start from it, you tend to kind of compare, and because I myself thought my mentor has incredibly huge experience of work in different roles, and I thought, okay, how can I start from being still like kind of junior myself in the field? But you have to start being confident in yourself, whether you're still learning or whether you're already very much expert in the field, because all mentors are very much valuable. And those who have 20, 30 plus years of experience, maybe they can bring something else that the freshers cannot, and vice versa. So I think it's very important to grasp that someday you have to take the step if you were thinking about it, because you'll probably come back to it soon. So why not to try this time?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Eleonora.
Yes, and I would say that first of all, if you are not accepted this season, you could be accepted next one. I met many people who tried 2, 3, or 4 times and finally got accepted and participated. And it's really worth participating, because it's this opportunity is a gold mine of knowledge, inspiration, and networking opportunities, endless. But you should not be a shy person. Yes, because nobody, all those people are surrounding me. They were not, they really not start saying you do that or do another thing. No, you should be proactive by yourself. And really, they are very nice, kind persons. Nobody say nothing if you sometimes be too active. No, but it's better being more active than shy, sitting in the corner or something. So you really need to take this opportunity by yourself and do that things. And this is very, very important. And for me, it was like, okay, we will speak later, but I was also wondering if it is proper program for me. There are so many young people, but in fact, I felt very comfortable and enjoyed this program very much. So don't worry and just apply and wait your acceptance. Yes.
Yeah, and be proactive.
Yes, and
exactly. Yeah, I think that's a very good point, and another you make. With this program, obviously, the more you give to the program, the more you'll get back. So being proactive is very important. I'm wondering whether what Vaida mentioned, obviously with the program, there are ups and downs, and some days you might feel, oh, I don't know if this is right for me, or maybe you struggle with some idea or concept and you might need extra explanation. These things happen, it's life. Were there any challenges you encountered in the program, and how did you overcome them? Would you like to go first?
Mm-hmm. As a mentor, I think I had a situation, and that also happens. We can share that as well. I think also that sometimes life happens, and we have to say bye, and maybe for the next time, up until the next time, to each other, because yes, we have just started, had a couple of meetings with a mentee. And then due to personal reasons of the person, of the lady being in Ukraine, she just couldn't continue. But we still catch up on LinkedIn, and I would still write her if she's okay, and whether how is she doing in general, because it's of course everyone's decision of mentors themselves, but if something happens, I'm myself very open to reschedule and just be open whenever the person is ready to do this. And it didn't have to be for me necessarily those months, but I still met her, and we had great first talks about niching down, about the start of the plan, about the motivation part, and I was really lucky and grateful to be her mentor. So that's that. And from mentee's side, I think besides that first conversation that gave me more questions than answers that I'm grateful for, I think it's always getting to that biggest why and where I'm going. So again, as I was thinking of a couple of different roles, and I wanted to understand, because I was ready to apply quite soon to the end of the mentorship program. I needed to understand where I would like to apply and how to prepare, my resume, how to prepare for interviews. The hardest part for me that took the longest was to understand where I want to go. So of course, my mentor, Vytautas, tried helping here as much as he could. We were trying different ways of putting all my thoughts that are in chaos onto a paper, onto some kind of, I don't know, I tried visualizations, I tried writing, rewriting helped me a lot in understanding where I want to go, because the challenge is when you're a lot curious, and usually people who come into these programs, and as Eleonora said, are very proactive, because you need that as a mentee, usually you're also very curious, and a lot of things are interesting to you. So I had that, I wouldn't say a problem, but it's a weakness when you have to make decisions. So I'm thankful for my mentor and my friends and acquaintances from the program itself that helped me to understand where I could go next, and rather than just never deciding, because everything is interesting.
Great, thank you. Eleonora.
Yes, and in my mentorship program, it was a hiccup along the way, because my amazing mentor just left the bank right after I started my job. So we only got to meet for a quick coffee instead of having a regular mentoring sessions. But it was a bummer, but I didn't let it get me down. But it was just nice. We kept communicating just for a very short conversation, but I just kept attending all the events and expanded my network. So I just, as I mentioned, I was proactive. I figured that there were plenty of opportunities, other opportunities, not just communicating with the mentor, because this program offers, as I mentioned, experts lecturing and explaining how they work, what practicalities they apply in their work, and even growing with the people around me. Just kept communicating. Yes, but I know that one of mentees, and she contacted the program when there were some problems with her mentor. I remember she mentioned, could you explain also for those people? Mentors are also people.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And that's what we want to make sure everyone who comes into program knows, that we're all people, life happens. So we have a team who is here to support everyone if there are any issues. And again, you just need to be proactive and let us know if there are issues, but also be open with your mentor or your mentee and communicate if there are, we want to make sure everyone has a good experience and they take the most out of the program, and we can achieve that by communicating with each other and being as open as we can about the whole experience. So yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you, Eleonora. Also, I just looking at my questions, I always like to ask this. Is there a common myth that you hear about or you've encountered that you think that's not true? I want to bust this myth. Is there anything like that you could share? Vaida, would you like to start?
Sure. I started thinking right now of mentor and mentee part, so both of these, but I think let's start from mentee. So as a mentee, sometimes maybe, and we talked a bit about this, you may feel like you're more of a listener, observer, and you're taking all the information in without even questioning it. Maybe it's not exactly what you need, because again, it's very important that the chemistry between the mentor and mentee, the relationship is nice, and that you can understand each other well, and that you feel safe and comfortable. So I think what I wanted to say by that, mentor is not always right. So it's maybe about a mentor also. And you are free to ask questions what is not clear for you as a mentee. Maybe if you don't get it, how the mentor expresses himself or herself, or maybe you're not sure, you can question things, the relationship itself. Maybe you can fit with some other mentor in that program. And I just want to kind of say that you're empowered as well to decide and to own this relationship, right? And you're not only just receiving that great knowledge, it's very important, but you can also be, as we talk, very proactive, asking questions, sharing your experience. And then going to mentors also learn from you as a mentee a lot. And it's been enlightening for myself how important it is to be, we always say that there is this kind of hierarchical relationship in the mentorship, because of course you, as a mentee, you're proactive to learn, and mentor is proactive to teach, to share experience, because usually the person is more senior. But I don't think that we should kind of emphasize this that much, and mentors also don't know all the answers. And I feel that for mentors, it's important to, as for mentees, to be empowering and owning the relationship, for mentors to just be very open when they don't understand the question, we don't know the answer about some technical part of the role, or about anything else related to the role. Just being very truthful to who you are is, I think it shows the sincerity of the person. So I think that's very important for mentors.
Yeah, so true. Thank you, Vaida. Eleonora, what's your myth? I'm curious to hear.
Yeah, I have two myths. First myth is like mentorship is only for young people. And I could say no, it's real myth, because I am 60 years old, and it's really, I feel very comfortable, because in learning and experiencing all this mentorship, and the very important to be open-minded. And for these people who are maybe elder people, yes, they should be open-minded and take this advantage. And the next myth is like, some people think that Women Go Tech is about coding, and IT world is about only programmers. Only programmers could join. This is absolutely myth. And this program opened my understanding about IT world. There are so many tracks and professions needed in this IT world, because programmers are only small, a tiny part of this IT universe, because there are quality assurance, Scrum Masters, project managers. They cannot code even. So many people in the IT world, they are not aware of how to work SQL or Python or other big systems. So this also a myth that, yes, you need to learn deeper and you could work even without programming. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I jump in very quickly? It's
Yeah.
me, the example that Eleonora just spoke about, no knowledge in coding and no particular interest in knowing that. So you don't have to even starting project management in IT or being a Scrum Master. It's good if you want to learn, of course, as a kind of a background skill, but you don't have to know that specifically, and you don't have to be crazy about coding. You know, really, if you ask my team that I work with, what is my interest in what they're coding, and exactly, no, I'm not looking into that at all. And it's my focus is very, very different, but that's how versatile IT is. So I can only
Yes.
relate to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so glad you both mentioned this. Yes, there's so many different roles and the opportunities are pretty much endless. So yes, if don't worry, there's more to tech than just being a developer. Being a developer is very important, very interesting, but there's more to it, to the tech sector. My last question. So the program ended. You hopefully learned a lot. You met all these great people. How did you feel? How would you sum up the whole experience? How was it for yourself?
Eleonora?
You need to start alone. Okay. Yes. Yes, my feeling where it's like I just discovered a new world for myself. That was amazing, because without this program, I would not have so many young people around me, and I widened my understanding, and was like I was surprised, I was grateful, and I was really amazed about this. And I'm very, very happy, even though I'm now a teacher and a researcher and not being in this industry, tech industry. But anyway, it was unforgettable experience. Yes, I like it very much. Yeah. And
Adam?
Yeah, gratefulness also comes into my mind as the first word, I think. And also feeling related to other people with the similar struggles, or maybe very different struggles, but kind of same feelings and same uncertainties and confusions, and sometimes lack of believing in yourself, sometimes believing in yourself to the max. And as we talked about these ups and downs, and I felt really empowered. I could believe in myself more and be confident more. And also with the support, of course, of the community, because as I mentioned, it mattered a lot to me. So I think that's the most positive, all positive and greatest emotions I felt, and it's really nice to remember that.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I have another question. These are just some of the questions we got beforehand. And someone asked about, the time requirement, because obviously the program is 6 months, and which is quite a long time. And someone asked, what if I work full time? Can I still participate? How much time will I need to dedicate to this? From your experience, how was it in terms of time management while being in the program?
Yeah, for being a mentee, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And for being mentee and for mentor, sure thing.
Yeah.
I was working as in full time. Yeah, I was working full time, and I had this actually very good question, Alexa, that we got. I had this concern myself, and I was asking other alumni. So hey, it's like very good timing to also ask those questions if they haven't been answered here. I write alumni, and I'm happy also to get any questions if you have any, because you know, it depends on you, but it won't be definitely something that you will have to disregard your own life and personal life, because this is not how it works. It should integrate into your life. And yes, some events, some meetings may happen during the day. So it requires some flexibility sometimes, but your meetings with your mentor, you have to own that, and you have to share your, schedules, how it works best for you. And I'm sure that mentors will try to find this most fitted time for both of you. So I would say yes, you need to be more flexible. There will be more just interesting meetings, and people you can get to know better, but that's very worth the time. And I wouldn't say that it cost me in terms of my job that I had to, I don't know, cancel some important part there, or I don't know, that my goals would suffer in my current job that I had. So.
Thank you, Eleonora.
And I like that these sessions that experts delivered their speeches, it was always after working hours, I remember. It was monthly meetings with experts from the field, and it was very good just to have those meetings after. It doesn't matter if you have full day or not. And those visits, companies, they were different. Yes, I missed someone because of my work, but anyway, there were so many those visits that I enjoyed only visiting only those companies that fit to my working hours, and I was able to just got 1 or 2 hours to visit this company and return to my work. So that was like work managing yourself. So but also events were after working hours, when for networking, for meeting people. And I remember we even met with our program track mentees from a track after working just for networking. It was also organized after working hours. It depends on you, yes. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just exactly what you just said. It's definitely doable, and the program is flexible. And when you get matched with your mentor, you can decide how often you would like to meet. We recommend to meet at least once a month. But obviously there's flexibility, because again, life can happen and sometimes you need to reschedule things. But yes, it is very flexible, and you can make sure it fits around your schedule as well. Thank you both. Another question that someone asked, they asked more about the requirements, that what you need to do to be accepted into program. But the question was more about, what they can do in order to prepare for the program. So, what kind of resources, maybe books, courses they can do, things like that. I can answer it from our side. So for us, obviously, we want everyone who applies to show their genuine interest in the field they chosen. And yes, that can be books you read, courses you did, videos you watched, or maybe another thing people sometimes forget is you probably have done things related to that field, because that's maybe how you became interested in it. So, a lot of skills you already have, they are transferable and can be transferred into your chosen tech role that you would like to move into. So what we always ask is to obviously be as specific as possible and explain what exactly you've done in your application, because that helps us to understand where you're coming from and what's your motivation. Is there anything from what you remember, and you might not remember this because it's been a while, but was there anything that helped you in order to learn a little bit more about your track?
yes, I could share my experience, because last year I helped in selection process. I just was peer reviewer. I read these applications and also marked, is it recommend or not? So this is from inside, but it was like when you're reading application, you just from these words and sentences see if person want to participate or not willing to participate. So my advice would be, when you write an application, just you should express and show how you want to learn from this program. And if you generously explain what you did and why you want to participate, you will be accepted. Yes, it's very important, be, as Auxa mentioned, very specific. Explain why. Just you need to ensure these experts that you want to participate.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know, Vaida, I think maybe you agree. It's same for mentors, to be honest. Obviously, slightly different because we know you have the experience, but it's about that motivation and why you would like to mentor and what is it that you'd like to gain from this experience. Because again, we obviously want mentors who know what we're doing here, which is obviously we're making a big change and we want to change tech sector and make it more diverse. But yeah, it's all about motivation. And I don't know, Vaida, do you have anything to add to that?
Yes, speaking about mentors, I think orientation not only towards the result, that to help the person land the job or just to understand the role better and hone the skills that are important, but very important is the orientation towards the person and towards the relationship of mentorship. Of course, for mentees as well, but yeah, I think the outlook towards the mentees themselves and what you want to bring and what you also want to get as well from that relationship, it's very important to understand that. So I think that's most likely it. Also being very specific, it doesn't mean that you can only write the years of your experience. They can sound pompous, they can sound a lot, and they can mean a lot. But I think not the years here or some, big names of companies mean a lot here, but your sincere, genuine interest in helping and growing, helping to grow one new expert in the field, one new professional in the field, and yourself as well. So
yeah,
that would be it.
Exactly. Yeah, very nicely put. Yes, it's a relationship that benefits both mentor and mentee and helps you grow as a tech professional. Even if you had, I don't know, 20 years of experience already, you can still learn something new and hopefully get something from this experience. Well, I'm sure we could talk for another hour, but I'm conscious of time. So thank you so much, Bill, for joining me this evening and sharing your experience. It was very interesting to hear from you. And thank you to everyone who tuned in. Just a reminder that we are accepting applications for both mentors and mentees. Mentor applications close on the 5th of February, so you still have time. And then mentee applications close on March 4th. As always, you can find all the information on our website, womengotech.com. And we will also share links in this video's comments where you can apply and find out more about the acceleration program. Also, if you have any questions, we have a support team, so you can email us and let us know what's your question. We'll get back to you. So yeah, that's it. Thank you again. Thank you so much, Bo. And thank you everyone for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.